What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we are doing the 56th installment of Retro Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing my Dragon Wings Jet-X 1:400 scale Northwest Airlines Boeing 747-400 in the Thermometer livery. Such a unique combo of airline and aircraft and livery variants here. The Northwest Thermometer 747, which was carried over from the days when the airline used to be called Northwest Orient. They would drop the branding not long after they bought out Republic Airlines in 1986 to become just Northwest, which is the final iteration of the branding for the airline. Of course, they had a few more liveries right after this one came out, but Northwest, the final name for the airline. So we begin with the box like always. We have the Dragon Wings logo up here, though this is officially marked as a Jet-X. They were kind of one and the same, if you will. I don't know how to properly describe it. Then we have limited edition, 1,500 units printed up here, when 1,500 was like a limited edition. Today, most runs are anywhere between like 500 to maybe like 750 usually. Aero Classics, I know they do runs that are even smaller, like 120 at times, like no more than that, which is a ridiculously low amount, but they always do it for a lot of the niche subjects, which don't have as big of a collecting base as others. Then with the Northwest Thermometer logo, a small image of the front section of the aircraft, Boeing 747-400 printed down there. And then here we have the item number JX026, so this is indeed a Jet-X. Northwest Boeing 747-400, Dragon Wings, and then this was distributed exclusively by Jet-X, the Millennium series. This was released in around 2000, I think, or something like that. We have the Jet-X logo on this side, along with some postage information from Laguna Hills, California. And then they have a website, which I assume is not active anymore. And then top here, same as the bottom, there's a little present wrapper, got part of the box there. And then here's the back side of the box, which is the same as the front. A little waffle database sticker, which he's always included on the boxes that I bought from him. So now I'll bring this airframe in. And once we get to the registration, you'll probably recognize this airframe right away, because it is an iconic airframe for a number of reasons, not just one or two. But there we go, the Northwest Thermometer 747-400. Really hoping someone does a newer iteration of this in 400 scale. I remember when Gemini Jets announced this in late 2020 in the 1:200 scale, I was hoping they would do a 400 scale release. But that hasn't happened. Why, I don't know, but hopefully they can get back to that at some point down the line, because it would be cool to see. Because, don't get me wrong, this model is really great, but it is very primitive. A lot of details are missing, and it's not exactly polished. It's kind of like it's like semi-polished, I guess, but it's not like fully chrome polished. So it's hard for me to describe that, but I think you can get what I'm trying to get at here. So let's go ahead and begin the review as we start up at the front of the aircraft. The black nose tip right there, cockpit windows up there, and a little emergency hatch. Then there's the first section of passenger windows, along with an L1 door. Top hump door right there, L2 technically, I guess, and this could even be L2 as well. Then we have the white cheat line, and then like a navy blue that comes into play, and the top and bottom are supposed to be polished. Northwest logo along with the Thermometer logo right there. I think it was the first 2 or 3 744s for Northwest that got this livery before the bowling shoe came around in '89, because right at that same time they debuted the 744, and we're the launch customer for this type, by the way. So the first couple got this livery before the bowling shoe became more prominent. So there is an overwing exit right there, and then there's another boarding door, and then also another one back there as well. And there is a registration, my friends, November 661 Uniform Sierra. And then the very lovely Northwest tail for the time, which is just all red, but you do have an italicized American flag, which many airlines used to do back in the day. Now it's just the standard vertical, just the normal design American flag, if you will. On this side, you can take a look at the nose gear door. So this is the nose gear. As I was talking about, very primitive, at least by today's standards, but for the time, that was considered to be the standard. Luggage door, and then there is the Pratt & Whitney engines on here, which do have a little Pratt & Whitney sticker on it. Kind of hard to see since the camera's not focusing on it right now. But there you go, you can kind of see it much better from that angle. And then the winglets are red on the outside, and then just the wing color on the inside. You can kind of see it there. A couple luggage doors on the back, and then a look at the registration and everything, and also the tail. We'll go ahead and flip it underneath. where we do have a stand hole and then the little production number. This is the 376 example produced out of 1500. So if you have owned this previously, please let me know. I'd love to connect with that gentleman who may have owned this previously, since I assume that I got the second hand, which would have been because I got it from Waffle. And then the top of the aircraft, no printed details, no antennas, no nothing on the top. So it's kind of the standard for the time. So lacking a lot of details that would go well with today's standards. But for me, not a huge issue. I wanted a Thermometer 744 for quite a while because I always thought it was so cool to see this livery on a then brand new aircraft type. So now that I finally have had it for the last couple of years, because I got this in Christmas of 2022, it's been very happy. It's been very nice to have it. And hopefully, again, someone like Gemini Jets, JC Wings, or NG, whenever they get the 744 mold off the ground, they will be happy to do it. And maybe I'll replace it, but we'll see. So now let's take a look at this aircraft's real-life history, which, again, November 661 Uniform Sierra. You'll recognize that registration if you're very familiar with the history of Delta and all that, and also the history of Boeing. This first flew on April 29th, 1988, and this, of course, is the prototype 747-400. So the one that was used in a lot of flight testing before it officially debuted with Northwest. It did wear the registration November 401 Papa Whiskey, Papa Whiskey being for Pratt & Whitney, I would assume, and then also 401 just for 400. I guess maybe 400 Papa Whiskey was taken, or 401 indicating the first 400. It was delivered to Northwest in December of 1989 as the 661 Uniform Sierra registration, painted in the Thermometer livery upon delivery. Not long after, she went into bowling shoe colors, and then eventually into the final livery before Northwest went merged with Delta in 2008. This aircraft is very notable for having a rudder hardover incident in 2002, operating Northwest Airlines Flight 85. Incident occurred over Alaska and it diverted to Anchorage, where thankfully there were no injuries on board. The aircraft was repaired and then returned to service. She then went to Delta starting in 2009 and finished out her career there. Put into storage in 2015, and as of now she is currently preserved at the Delta Flight Museum since 2016 and is currently an exhibit where you can go inside, check out some various artifacts that they have on the inside, and they do have the Delta One cabin preserved up at the front of the aircraft, so that'd be very cool to check out when we go there for Airliners International in Atlanta next year, being hosted at the Delta Flight Museum. And as I record this, and while this video is going to be posted as well, they are actually doing some renovations at the Delta Flight Museum right now. So it sounds like they're going to change up quite a few things and add some new exhibits, because Delta's 100th anniversary is this year, which is going to be very exciting, and they should unveil a couple new special liveries, since there are currently 2 aircraft that will be known to have a special livery for the 100th anniversary: an A321neo registered November 589er Delta Tango, and an A350 registered November 527 Delta November. And there could be more by the time this video comes out, but those are the 2 that I know of. I believe they're both in the paint shop right now, and hopefully we'll get to see pictures of them very soon from when I'm recording this anyway, but they should be out by the time this video comes out, since they should be operating, and Delta will have done their formal announcements as to what they're going to be doing for their 100th anniversary celebration. Super excited to check out what the Delta Flight Museum is going to have, and of course, also excited to attend Airliners International once again as we get there in about 5 months' time. So days are counting down quickly, so get ready, and hopefully I'll be registering very soon, since I still need to do that, but I'll get that taken care of when the time is right. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.